So let's take a look at the lyrics of this song called I Want to Know What Love Is. That this is an old song that was recorded a long time ago by a really great band called Foreigner. And Mariah Carey has decided to re-record it, but she's going to sing it in her own way, which is very different from a guy's band. Now, the first line says, I gotta take a little time. Now, all of our listeners know that gotta isn't proper English, but we say it a lot when we're speaking casually. I gotta do my homework, I gotta go home. You can say, I've got to go home, but if you're talking with your friends, this is fine. You'll often see this sort of casual English in song lyrics.
All right, and so I gotta take a little time. I'm going to use a little time in order to do something. You could also say, I've got to take a little time, but here it's kind of informal. I gotta take a little time. And the next line here is a little time to think things over. Here it just means I've got to take a little time, not much, but just a little, because I need to think things over. This is a verb phrase here, to think things over. It just means to consider something. It's a question that you don't know the answer to, or it's a problem in your life and you're not quite sure what you're going to do about it. Gee, I'm going to graduate from high school. I've got to think this over. Should I go to Harvard? Should I go to Yale? Or should I go to Stanford? Okay, so that might be something that you need to think over.
Yeah, you would use this if you're talking about a decision you have to make, right? Now, I better read between the lines. Now, how can you read between the lines? There's nothing between the lines. It's just empty space. What this phrase means, though, is you're going to try to guess what's going on even though someone doesn't say it to you directly. Maybe someone says something to you and you think, what else is going on here? You have to figure out what they're not saying. That sometimes is more important than the words that actually come out of their mouths. To read between the lines. This is actually our shortcut for you. Let's take a closer look.
Shortcut for you.
Did you like the poem I wrote?
Actually, I didn't understand it.
Well, you have to read between the lines.
What do you mean? There's nothing between the lines of the poem.
No, to read between the lines means to look for meaning that isn't directly given. There's a hidden meaning in my poem.
So, read between the lines means 寻找隐藏的意义.
Right. So read the poem again to see if you can figure out what it means.
This part about the red and golden moon could mean your spirits, right?
No. It's about pizza. The part with the great box about joy is about watching television.
So, your poem is about eating pizza and watching TV? I don't think I want to read between the lines anymore.
Okay, so again, you need to read between the lines because you're really not sure if the information you're getting is correct. So you need to look for some other details, some other information that's not there. And I guess this happens sometimes when you're talking about love. It's hard to understand it, so you do need to read between the lines. Sometimes people say things, they might mean something else. So you have to, I wonder what he meant by that. I better read between the lines. Okay, and the reason this person has to do this is because it's in case I need it when I'm colder. Okay, in case here is just talking about something that is possible, something that you need to prepare for. So you're thinking about something that might happen in the future. It might be something bad, so you need to prepare. So for example, I'm going to tape the windows in case there's a typhoon. That means you're making a preparation for that so that something bad won't happen, or at least it won't be as bad as it could have been.
Or maybe if you're worried about the weather, you might want to take your umbrella just in case it rains, so you're prepared. You know, you won't get wet if you have it with you. Now let's look at the next section. It says, in my life, there's been heartache and pain. Now we know that our heart can't really ache. Ache just means to hurt, to cause you some pain. But when you have heartache, it means something in your life has made you really sad. And a lot of times it has to do with love. Maybe you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend and you have this huge heartache inside. It almost feels like your heart is breaking in two. And pain, of course, comes along with that. When you feel sad, sometimes it's really like an actual pain. I've felt it before. It's hard to deal with.
Right. Heartache usually talks about your emotions, though. If your heart actually does hurt because of some physical problem, that would be called heartburn, okay? But here it's heartache. It means something bad has happened to you emotionally, and you're trying to deal with it. And then the singer goes on to say, I don't know if I can face it again. To face something means you confront that problem. There's something there in front of you. It might be difficult to deal with. Your first thought may be to, oh, I'm going to get out of here. I don't want to deal with that. I want to ignore it, right? But in this case, you might want to face it. Okay, I'm going to handle this problem. I'm going to deal with it right now so that I don't have to face it again. Well, here, face is our word, power word for today. It's a verb. So let's take a closer look.
Word Power. Hi, and welcome to Word Power. Today's word is face. A face is the front part of someone's head, where the eyes, nose, and mouth are. For example, you can tell by the smile on Steve's face that he's happy today. However, in Mariah Carey's song, she sings about facing heartache and pain. Face is a verb that means to confront, deal with, or accept something. Usually it would be something difficult or negative. For example, Chris had to face the fact that he was too short to be a successful basketball player. Face can also mean to have your head pointing in a certain direction. For instance, Lisa can't see you because she is facing the other direction. That's all the time we have for Word Power. Thanks for listening.
Now, a lot of times we use the word face as a noun. This is my face, this is Tom's face. But here it's actually a verb we're using to talk about dealing with something that's in front of us. You can't avoid it, you must face it and handle it. So that's how it's being used here. It says, can't stop now, I've traveled so far. Sometimes you have to keep moving in life. You can't just sit there and not do anything. You have to keep moving forward. She wants to change this lonely life. Sometimes if you've broken up with someone, you just don't want to meet anyone new. It hurts still, right? But don't wait too long. Keep moving forward. You don't want to be lonely forever. Of course, if you're lonely, you're missing some company, maybe from friends or people that you enjoy being around. You can be alone just by yourself and not be lonely. Lonely is a feeling where you honestly feel sad because you don't have anyone to talk to. Maybe there's no one around you that understands you. Maybe you're in a room full of people. You're at a party. you can still be lonely if you don't feel you can talk to anyone.
Absolutely. Okay, then the song goes into the chorus, and the chorus is, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. I know you can show me. So our singer here is kind of confused about love again. He's had love before, but since Mariah is singing this, then it's she. So she doesn't know what to do about this. So she wants this person or this other person to tell her all about love so that she can understand, she can face her problems, and get on with her life.
That's right. Okay, everybody, that's the first part of our lesson. We're going to listen to our Chinese teacher explain a little bit, and then we'll be back.